You don't need to be a law expert to know that becoming a police officer requires specific training. Yet some citizens decide to skip this essential step and simply pretend to be officers. Today we're discussing cases where real police officers have uncovered these imposters and arrested them. Let's dive into the video. Officers Park and his colleague noticed a young cop driving recklessly and running red lights. Oddly enough, he wasn't in a police car, but in his car, which only had emergency lights attached. Curious and concerned, they decided to pull him over to check if everything was all right and to ask why he wasn't using a police car. When they approached, the young cop seemed lost and unsure of what to say. He tried to keep his cool, but hesitated to hand over his ID. Realizing it might make things worse if he didn't, he eventually gave it to them. The only explanation he offered was that he had a permit to use the red emergency lights, which he pointed out on a sticker on his windshield.
Hey, partner.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Officer Park with the Akron Police Department.
How are you?
The only reason why I'm pulling you over, I guess y'all were, well, that's my chief of police right there. He saw y'all go around traffic. He was trying to figure out who y'all are with or what was going on.
Okay.
So he called out on the radio and asked for a marked unit, and that's why I got you pulled over.
That's fine.
So I'll just let him come over if you want. I want to ask, who y'all work for, Georgia Metropolitan?
Yeah, I'm off-duty hero operator.
Oh, off-duty
Yeah.
hero operator?
How you doing, Chief? I'm off-duty operator. I just working off criminal detail. That's my ID. That's my badge. Yeah, I just work in the criminal detail. I went to get my car checked up because you can see all the lights on.
Why is the car registered to an individual?
That's mine. This is my company.
So what are you doing with all these red lights?
Sorry?
Why all these emergency lights?
Yes.
And did I see you using emergency lights to pull out into traffic on Lake Eckworth Drive?
Oh, no, because I couldn't get through, Chief. You notice? That's a standstill. So I flashed the lights hoping you could see me that I was trying to get in the line.
Who do you work for?
This is my company. I'm an off-duty hero operator. This is my company.
Okay.
Yeah, I do criminal details. Yeah.
So you look like me, you're impersonating a police officer.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not impersonating, sir.
You got any ID on you?
Yes, sir. If you look in the front. If you look in the front.
Yes, I see red lights. I saw red lights when you pulled out.
Yeah, that's sir. That's when it activated to the back.
Yeah. Where's your ID?
Right, yes, Chief. Yeah,
Do you have a lighting permit for the vehicle?
yeah, right there on the glass.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
It works.
Be right back with you, okay?
Officers Park and his partner walked back to their car with the guy's ID to run a check. Surprisingly, the guy did have a permit to use emergency lights, but the timing was a bit odd because he wasn't on any emergency duty. Officer Park and his colleague figured the guy was just using the lights to dodge traffic and skip through the jam. They both agreed that misusing the emergency signals like this was not only wrong but also illegal if it wasn't a real emergency. What the cops didn't know yet was that this incident was only the tip of the iceberg and what they would soon find out about this guy.
About 300 feet.
He's got front windshield tinted and all windows are there. His front windshield's a tire tinted also.
Has he got a gun on him too? The thing is so he has a lighting permit that's valid. He has a lighting permit that's valid for the vehicle to have the.
You can't have red though. You can't have red or blue, right?
That's what I'm curious about. If he has a company that does escorts, I'd have to look back in the law. I would assume it's amber and white.
Right.
But at the very least, from what Chief's saying, he's improperly using them. He's not on an escort.
Right.
He's just trying to cheat his way into traffic. So at the very least, I have him on improper use of emergency equipment. 300 feet.
Speeding down Calvin Road.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I didn't, Chief didn't get me a number, so I don't know if he was pacing him.
Huh?
I don't think Chief was pacing him. He didn't tell me exactly how fast he's doing. He's just saying flying. But he said 57? Oh, okay.
We can't pace in our cars, but we can be too fast for conditions.
As the cops weren't totally sure about the specific laws on using emergency lights, they decided to dig a bit deeper. However, this was just the start of uncovering what this guy was really up to. They found out that he had a license only for using white lights, which was odd because you don't actually need a permit to use white lights at all. He didn't have the authorization to use red or amber lights, which were the ones he was using. It became clear that he had gotten the permit for the white lights, hoping it would throw off anyone who pulled him over. He thought they'd see the permit and not question it further. The cops realized that this guy was pretty clever, figuring he could manipulate the system like that. Now, all that was left was to figure out what he was really trying to hide by using those lights.
The commissioner shall
Escorts.
The commissioner shall authorize the use of red or amber flashing or revolving lights only when the person or governmental agency shall demonstrate to the commissioner a proven need for equipping a vehicle with emergency lights. Fee for such lights by municipal. Okay, so that says authorize the use of red or amber. So I don't provided a county municipal agency as defined.
It said an emergency permit. Is what
He has a lighting permit, yeah.
But I think that's the one he has, because they're different colors. I think the one he has is you don't have to have a light or permit for white.
Yeah, not white. Amber you do. And that's what you see, like tow trucks, funeral services use amber. I think he's waving his hand. Can you see what he's trying to
What do you need?
say? Can you see what he wants?
Who, the chief?
No, the gentleman's waving. I guess he's going up there. So, what's the code section for improper use? There's an unauthorized vehicle with red or amber lights, but he has the lighting permit, but I can't tell if that one's only for amber.
Yeah, but that's his personal car. It's not like a company car.
See, but what I was reading in the subsection, it leaves it kind of open, so it talks about.
The cops also noticed this guy had an unusual number of gadgets hanging from his belt, which made him even more suspicious. So they decided to approach him, return his ID and driver's license, and issue him a ticket for improperly using emergency lights. At that moment, the guy got really upset. He started explaining that he runs an escort agency and works as a private police officer. He even offered to show the cops his business license for his LLC, claiming he would face fines if they ticketed him. But this raised a couple of questions. Firstly, if he owned the company, who would fine him? Secondly, none of this explained why he was using red and amber lights when there was no need for them. Officer Park then walked away, and the guy started begging him not to write the ticket, literally pleading with him. But Officer Park knew what he had to do and didn't budge from doing his job.
Permit and stuff that I'm seeing, I'm just going to assume everything's properly permitted and stuff for the vehicle.
It is, sir.
That said, with what my chief's observation, the use of those are for strictly business purposes. You
No,
can't
you're right.
you can't be using it to pull in the traffic, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am going to issue a citation for unlawful operation for emergency vehicle, okay? Just here.
I know, let me just talk to Chief real quick before, because I'm telling you how it's going to work. Even though I'm doing this on my private side, once I get this ticket, G-Dot is going to ground me again. I'm going to get grounded. And that's why I'm trying to don't interfere my personal business with G-Dot. Anytime they run a driver's license number, I'm going to get grounded. I asked the chief, please.
I hear, but you have to understand that this whole scenario is a big issue for us too, because the uniform and lights and all that. This is when it gets.
The thing is, this is my company. I run my company respectfully.
Okay.
Because I deal with high clients. This is my uniform. Not me say officer, nothing. This is my uniform.
I got you.
You understand? But please, I just want to talk to the chief. I know you're going to still do your job. I mean no harm. You can check me. My badge number is 44. I run the express lanes.
Just hear me out.
I don't want to get grounded.
If the chief wants to argue, that's fine, but this is going to stand, all right? Just let me explain this. What I need you to do is sign here at the X. Signing is not an admission.
I know.
Okay. All right.
I'm a former police in the Bahamas. I know.
Okay. Do you need a pen? There you go.
Sir, please, if I could.
Everything. I point out to everyone else, auto-generated court date right now is showing for the 18th of August at 9 a.m. at our court. The address is right there on the back of your copy. This phone number right here is to the court services. Takes about 3 to 5 business days for the citation. Give them a call and they'll explain everything to you.
Okay.
Do you have any further?
Do I have to attend the court? Or I just can pay it because I really.
Once you contact that number, they'll tell you all your options. If you can just pay it outright, and they'll explain your payment problems.
Hey, Chief.
Have you got a business card?
Yes, sir. Can I step out?
Yeah. And you're all hot, but what about all these people in there?
I know.
That's why. The windows for them.
Yeah, I'm trying to crack the window right now, Chief.
Won't you open all the windows so they don't?
No, the thing is, when I ride, the air, the compressor's going to kick in. Yeah. Chief.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be no pain in your hip, but Chief, please, man, I don't want to get grounded. Please, from G-Dot, please. I beg you, Chief.
I get that.
I live in the community. I live right there on 3485. I'm not a bad person. Please, Chief. I beg of you.
I don't think you're a bad. Let me have your business card. I don't think you're a bad person.
No, I just don't want to get.
You're impersonating a police officer.
I don't want to. No, I don't impersonate police officers, sir. That's why I was careful. I present myself on my uniform. Also, I'm a former police in the Bahamas. I don't have nothing to impersonate for.
A few people had called the police to complain about a young man harassing them in a parking lot behind a store. When the police officers got there, they were surprised to find a young man pretending to be a cop and bothering people. As soon as they saw him, they knew what was going on and immediately handcuffed him. The cops were curious about what he'd say when asked for his police ID. The man tried to dodge the question by saying he only had a badge and it was from a department he no longer worked for. He also claimed he hadn't received his new police ID yet. Despite his attempts to talk his way out of the situation, it didn't work out for him. The officers quickly realized he was a fake cop and arrested him on the spot.
Charged.
What's going on today?
I've been hanging out for a while. I'm off duty. I work for Washingtonville Police Department. I'm about to go into work. I was just sitting up here talking.
I get you.
And I was talking to like just being friendly with people. Did somebody take offense?
Sir, put your hands behind your back. So don't lock your fingers. You should not do this, right? Put your hands upside down. Spread your feet.
Okay. I'm an off-duty officer. I have my identification.
Okay. We're just going to check because we're going to call it your first aid police officer.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything else on you?
No, sir. I have a taser in my vehicle. In my badge. I have my badge right here.
Where's your ID at?
My police ID, so I don't have a police ID on me. I can,
Don't have a police ID on you.
no, I don't have a police ID yet. What's that badge say?
Washingtonville?
I'll give you my chief's number. You can call and confirm that right
Have you
now.
been sworn in?
Yeah, no, I'm a sworn in chief officer.
You don't have an ID.
No, they didn't. I've been bitching about this forever with them. I have my badge. I don't have an ID.
Do you have like your driver's license?
This time around, a cop pulled over a private car that was using amber lights and blaring a siren. Inside, he found an elderly man. When the cop asked him if he was a police officer, the man said he wasn't. However, when questioned why he was using the sirens and amber lights, the man couldn't come up with an explanation. He handed over his driver's license to the officer. It turns out this man was a YouTuber and thought the whole situation was just a fun experiment. Clearly, he didn't realize how serious the consequences could be. To make things even stranger, while he was standing there chatting with the cops, he turned on his amber lights again, probably thinking it would help him blend in with them. Some people just don't seem to understand the seriousness of their actions or have too much time on their hands.
So, are you a law enforcement officer?
No.
Okay. Why do you were caught, a complaint come out, you were running lights and sirens. Does this have sirens?
No.
Just the lights?
Yeah, it's amber lights. It's my work car.
Okay, I need to see the registration,
Sure.
license, insurance card.
You bet. There you go.
Thank you, sir. Give me just a moment.
Sure. So I got pulled over in the cop car again. This happens quite a bit. I'm going to try to deputize them though. Usually calms them down. If you're in a cop car and you get pulled over by a cop, make sure to turn your cop lights on too. It's a safe thing to do. We got another cop pull up. Everybody wants to see the antique police car.
Morning.
Hey,
So, what do you do?
I'm a YouTuber.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Why you getting
Jeremy Kirk was caught pretending to be a cop on February 8th of 2019. Detective David Dillon noticed a car zipping down the road, splitting the center line with red and amber lights flashing, hitting speeds of 90 miles per hour. Considering the reckless driving and the potential for causing accidents, Detective David decided it was time to pull the car over. What also caught his eye were the numerous stickers and decorative panels plastered all over the car, which is definitely not typical for police vehicles. As Detective David approached the car, he noticed the interior was decked out with gear usually seen in police cars, like a specialized dash camera, radar, and even handcuffs. While these details were suspicious, Detective David chose not to jump to conclusions. Instead, he approached the situation cautiously, treating the man in the car as if he might actually be a fellow officer, though he had a hunch that the truth would soon come out.
You're not with any law enforcement agency. No. But you're wearing a badge like you are.
Well,
you ID'd yourself to the sheriff as an arson investigator.
I'm sorry, sir?
You ID'd yourself as an arson investigator, right? Where's that radio go to?
It's Adam Radio. It's A-Win Radio.
Where did you get A-Win radio at?
I'm with Adam as well.
What Adam?
Arkansas Department of Emergency Management.
You work for them?
I'm a volunteer for them, yes, sir.
Who's the supervisor over that? Do they know you're wearing that radio while you're working your private job, serving civil papers?
Yes, sir.
They know you're using that radio?
Yes, sir.
They do?
Yes, sir.
Adam?
Yes, sir.
We're going to find out all that.
Okay.
Step out and step to the back here.
Sure.
You got your camera on. You better make sure it's recorded. We are.
Okay.
Let's step out. You got handcuffs too?
I do.
Step right back there. Keep your hands out of your pockets. You have a weapon?
Jeremy quickly tried to explain himself when Detective David pulled him over. He claimed he wasn't a cop, but just a volunteer, which seemed odd given he had handcuffs with him. After all, volunteers can't arrest people, right? Detective David found it even stranger that Jeremy was connected to a police radio frequency called Adam and was listening in on everything they said. This prompted Detective David to have his colleague, Officer Laura, check this story. Jeremy didn't stop there. He explained the handcuffs in his car by saying they were meant to deter thieves. According to him, he placed them in the car so that anyone trying to break in would think twice, seeing the handcuffs and assume he was a cop. Eventually, he admitted he was making his vehicle look like a police car on purpose.
No, sir.
You have any firearms in the truck?
No, sir.
You have a canine in there?
No, sir.
Is that our frequency you're listening to?
Yes, sir.
What's the phone? What? He may go bond out on this. Contact Adam and see if they know who this guy is. He says he's a volunteer with them. He's got an A1 radio. Where did you get the A1 radio?
From Adam.
You're going to tell me that they know that you're doing this?
Yes.
You're out serving civil papers, using our radio, running lights and sirens. Didn't know who was behind you, did you? You're not law enforcement. You understand that, right?
Yes. I don't have blue lights either.
You're right. You don't have blue lights, but you're driving crazy down the middle of the road.
Okay.
That's not an emergency to go serve civil papers.
Okay.
This is our guy who serves our civil papers. Would you do that?
Okay.
They're writing you some tickets, and we're going to go to court, and there's other things we're going to do here. We got handcuffs in there too.
Mm-hmm.
What are the handcuffs for?
They're from.
What are they for?
They're a theft deterrent.
A theft deterrent.
Yep.
What does theft deterrent mean?
Well, it'll keep somebody from breaking into my truck. Hopefully. That's the thought.
You're on court, correct? Okay. So you're saying carrying handcuffs in your truck means that they won't break into your truck. So you're making it look like it's a law enforcement truck, so they won't break into it?
If you walked up to break that window and break in, and you saw that, would you break in?
I'm not a criminal, but yeah, I'd steal your handcuffs and steal your guns.
Okay.
Is there guns in there?
Things took an even more interesting turn when Officer Laura got back from Adam with the news that they had never heard of Jeremy, and he definitely wasn't associated with them. Turns out Jeremy was just an amateur radio hobbyist, and crucially, there was no legal basis for him to be tapped into the Adam radio frequency. On top of that, he had been impersonating a cop and driving recklessly for no valid reason. When pressed further, Jeremy tried another excuse. He claimed he was speeding because he was rushing to help a woman waiting with divorce papers from her husband along with her children. But really, does a divorce situation require someone to drive 90 miles an hour? Not likely. The cops handled the situation carefully, investigating thoroughly without jumping to conclusions or charging Jeremy prematurely. However, with the evidence piling up against him, they decided it was time to act. They took his Adam radio as evidence of his misdeeds.
He's a tracking dog. He's a certified search and rescue dog.
So, Adam gave you an A1 radio?
Yes, sir.
Who at Adam do you work for?
I work for the Races.
For what?
Races?
Races?
Yes. Radio emergency, radio amateur civil emergency service. There we go.
Let me see your radio. You can hold on to this.
Okay.
So you're running amber and green lights.
Uh-huh.
To get through traffic. What law in the state of Arkansas allows you to do that?
I don't know.
There's not.
Every Races? Justin, I can't remember his last name now.
You take the lights in front of truck, make sure they're not blue. Well, he says he's a volunteer. Volunteer for what? He says volunteer. Don't give you right to be running lights.
Okay.
There any weapons inside your vehicle?
Nope.
None at all. I mean, I seen the aspens on in the door.
That is a bite stick for dog trading, sir.
You mind if I open your door and activate the lights so the lights are color in front of your truck?
I'll be happy to do that for you, sir.
Go ahead and turn that radio over here. We're taking that into evidence. You'll be able to pick it up.
Sir?
Give me your radio. We're taking that into evidence. We're going to contact Adam.
Okay.
Running red and green lights. Are you a firefighter?
I'm certified firefighter too.
Are you
yes.
a firefighter? What agency?
I'm not.
What emergency was you?
Jeremy tried to back up his story by handing over some papers to the cops, claiming they proved he was on his way to help a woman going through a divorce. He also insisted that there was no way he was driving 90 miles per hour, as though just saying it would make it true. The truth was, Jeremy was just a guy pretending to be a cop, and by driving that fast, especially in a populated area and a school zone, he was putting many people's lives at risk. There's a reason police officers undergo months of training before they're allowed to take on the job. Not just anyone can throw on a uniform, act like a cop, and expect everything to be fine. That's simply not how it works.
I can talk louder. But here's what you have. The papers that you're going to serve right now.
I can hand them.
That's what I need to see.
Yes, sir.
You have insurance with you?
I do.
I don't need to hold it. Here, let me hold it with you.
That's everything I'm serving, sir.
No, I told you what you were serving. What I asked for was very clear. What are you serving right now that you were driving like that for?
Restraining order.
You serving a restraining order, which is not a. That's for divorce.
An order to give up the kids, and there's
You
a whole
drive
bunch
90
of other
miles an
stuff.
hour down a turn lane. School's about to get out. You put everybody's life at risk.
I don't think I was driving 90. I'm sorry, sir.
And you got till March 21st.
Well, that's the court date.
Well, he's also our civil process server, so you can.
Right.
District Court of Harris County, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was from Lonoke County.
I'm authorized through Lonoke County.
That is not what you told me.
You told me when I pulled up to you, you said this is through Lonoke County. This is a divorce.
Yes, sir. It's a result of a divorce.
I'm not sure we're not going to tell his ride and have hold it as evidence.
Not me.
You sure got a badge there displayed.
Put your hands on the truck.
Right there. Hand him the papers.
Okay.
Put your hands on the truck. You have anything else on you shouldn't have on you?
Nope.
Are you incorporated?
I am.
With the state of Arkansas?
Yes.
Who are you working for to serve these papers?
Myself.
No. Who asked you to serve these papers?
Oh, well, that's the attorney out of
Texas.
Texas. Yes, sir.
How'd they get a hold of you?
Internet.
These are the first papers you're served.
Yes, sir.
You've never served any other papers.
Nope.
So why is your handgun license revoked? You have your criminal history? I think you're trying to be the police and you can't be the police.
No.
That's what I think.
I'm not trying to be the police.
What are you trying to be then? Why are you running like this? No other paper server does that. My guy.
Detective David was really upset with Jeremy's reckless behavior. He pointed out to Jeremy that even actual cops who are justified in rushing through the city when responding to a crime never drive as fast as he did. They always make sure to not endanger others while getting to a scene. But there's more to the story that might surprise you. During their investigation, the cops found out that Jeremy already had felony charges against him. Because of this, they decided it was necessary to confiscate his vehicle. It was just too risky to let him keep it. And Detective David decided to arrest Jeremy. And it turned out to be the right call. Given everything that had unfolded, it was clear that Jeremy's actions were out of line, and he needed to face the consequences of his behavior.
Mark's unit, he doesn't drive like that.
Okay.
He's a full-time certified deputy to serve papers,
Yeah.
and he didn't act like this.
Yeah.
And you got this badge on right here. Why are you wearing an arson investigator badge to serve papers?
Well, I'm hoping that I don't get shot.
So you're impersonating an officer?
No.
You're trying to impersonate an officer?
No.
That's what you're hoping it doesn't get you shot. You're
100.
go ahead.
An arson investigator badge.
During the stop, the officers find out that Mr. Kirk has a felony charge as well. The cops then decide to confiscate his vehicle.
You got felony charges and you're acting. Does Adam know that?
Nope.
They will. Hey, who are you talking to? Matt, we're taking it. We're going to send it back to him.
Why are you taking my truck?
We're towing it, and we're going to inventory it.
Okay.
Because you got handcuffs, you got a badge, you got a body camera, you're simple law enforcement, you're running lights and sirens down the middle of the road. You're telling me that the reason you have handcuffs is to theft deterrent, which doesn't make sense. You got felony charges on you, and you got a badge. And I know what it says when I get close, and I know what you're saying. You're saying you're an arson investigator. Nobody in this state or this country is going to use you as an arson investigator because you're a felon. Okay? This, to me, looks like you're impersonating an officer. You're running down the middle of the road at over 90 miles an hour with lights going. It says, caution working dog. You're saying you're a civil process server. You're telling us that you were trying to get here because this says take kids and stuff. This doesn't say take kids. This says it's an emergency order. Okay. So the reason we're telling you also about it, why do you have a radar in there?
It says I enjoy playing with it.
You're playing with it?
Yeah, I enjoy just watching it.
The radar. You enjoy watching the radar. I'm not sure you don't try to pull people over. And I run 6 or 8 of these unmarked Dodges.
Back up.
So...
After his arrest, Jeremy was taken to the Lonoke County Detention Center. Once word got out about his situation, a bunch of people came forward to tell the cops about their encounters with Jeremy. Apparently, he had been pretending to be a cop and had mistreated quite a few folk along the way. What do you make of all this?
You have guns in here?
Nope.
You're under arrest. So you're not associated with any fire department?
Nope.
Any search or rescue?
Just what I told you.
So when you got this tag, did you not put down you was with search and rescue?
I was with search and rescue, yes.
What?
And I still do that.
You do?
What kind of dog you got?
German Shepherd.
What is it trained in?
Tracking and trailing.
That's it?
That's it.
What language does it speak?
He's in German.
German?
Yep.
Okay. So happen I'm a dog guy.
Yeah. I love our dogs.
I'm sorry?
So I love our dogs.
It just so happens I'm a dog guy.
Outstanding. We're gonna get along well then.
No, we're not either. I'm not a criminal. I'm the real police.
We don't have to act like it.
You're a convicted felon. We don't get along.